Candace Owens completely destroys this woman for doing what people like this woman says is actually wrong. I'll explain. It started with Candace Owens making this post under this woman's video on Instagram. Man, I can't wait to do a video on your wedding dress, and don't even think about responding to me, because as a woman of color, anything you say will be deemed racist, patriarchal, sexist, and likely misogynistic. Thanks in advance. Now, why would Candace say this? Because we all know she never said anything mean to anyone before.
Why did you have to call her a hag daughter?
Just to be clear, because she's a witch. I think she's a witch.
But this is the video that this woman posted.
I do not like this wedding dress. First of all, she says, I didn't want to exude sex in any way. The second thing she says is she wanted the dress to be as serious as she takes the covenant of marriage. She even says that her husband thinks she's the most beautiful when she's timeless, covered, and elegant. I just think the usage of the word covered is so icky. I just think it's really odd that instead of marketing herself, she's like marketing and pushing this conservative agenda.
This woman sucks. She just absolutely sucks. There's no other way to say it. I don't even know who she's performing for at this point. This woman is miserable, and I will just go ahead and say that I think Christian McCaffrey and Olivia Culpo are just being way too nice here, because I would have dragged her into tomorrow. Friendly fire!
But that's just the gospel. It gets even better once we start looking at this woman's Instagram. Now, I don't know anything about wedding dresses. In fact, they all look the same to me. But what I do know is that they say that women have a choice to do whatever they want to do, however they want to do it. But now, the same people that's saying that women should have a choice, it just seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, that those same exact people are saying women don't have a choice. At least women don't have a choice unless they fit into their agenda. Dressing modestly on your wedding day in a white gown is the pinnacle of purity. But now that's wrong. I'm guessing if she would have wore a gown with her butt cheeks hanging out, everybody would have applauded her. Or would they? Because her Instagram tells a completely different story. At least to me. Let's see what you think.
This was the first official dress that I ever tried on, and I really, really liked this one. It was too small on me, which I think threw a lot of the people that I showed it to off. I actually did show this to my husband, and he didn't like it either, so I guess it's not a bad thing I didn't get this one.
Now, do you remember the first clip where she criticized the woman for considering what her husband likes? In which he said that she was the most beautiful to him when she was timeless, covered, and elegant? But I guess nowadays that's just grounds for divorce. That's kind of like the fighting words between women and men. But I did find it funny, in that same situation when she was looking for her wedding dress, she considered what her husband liked, even stating that it wasn't a bad thing that she didn't get the dress because her husband didn't like it anyway. But that's not her only hypocrisy either. But it does prove people would tell you to play chicken as they watch. We all know the game of chicken where everybody has to rush to the edge and whoever stops first is the chicken. There are people that will encourage you to do something that they won't do just for their entertainment. And in this case, I guess it was likes and follows on TikTok, because TikTok is the hub of all the people that would agree with that type of rhetoric. You know, the happiest people on earth. But now let's take a look at her Instagram. Now this is her most recent picture. Now this picture, she's fully clothed and fully gowned. Pretty conservative to me. And this is for a regular photo, so she can wear this. It's not a problem. But now if a woman's going off to be happy with her husband and she's saying that she wants to keep it all pure for herself and her marriage and make sure she takes this thing seriously, that's a problem. But it's not a problem when she does it on the regular. Got it. Okay, now we got a picture of somebody else on the profile. This person looks pretty modest as well. And on top of that, then she writes, now that I'm fully in wedding planning mode, I wanted to share some of my favorite weddings. The person is completely covered and completely conservative. This is your favorite wedding. But now when somebody else does it, for the internet and for TikToks, this is unacceptable. So who is really trying to push her agenda? But the whole point is that she's not against somebody doing that. And the fact that she think a woman not sexualizing herself is something bad, and for a woman to be for herself, she has to sexualize herself, is just crazy.
But I really don't understand how a single mom with a one-income household is supposed to survive right now.
I don't understand why all these average men are out here single when they could be coupled up helping you pay the bills, but they weren't good enough, were they? I bet they are now.
When I say I'm single, they're like, nah, you single because don't nobody want you. Have you seen me? I mean...
Most women that say they want a good man, if you bring her one right now, she probably gonna fuck up. They want a man. Them saying they don't, or that they're single by choice, is because they've been unsuccessful in finding one.
Every time I say I want to get married before I have children, I want to become a wife before I give birth, it's always some random female that's gonna come out the woodwork side-eyeing me and projecting, saying shit like, oh, well, you getting married doesn't guarantee you won't become a single mom, because shit happens, you could get a divorce. And you know what, you're right, we could get a divorce. I can't determine the outcome of the situation, but I can for damn sure determine how I go into a situation, and I'm choosing to go into that situation a wife. And whether y'all want to admit it or not, that little piece of paper does indeed hold weight. It potentially guarantees security for not only me but my child should something like that happen. You choosing to have a baby by a sneaky link does not. Second of all, black women literally have the highest rate of mortality during childbirth. Do y'all honestly think I'm gonna go into that for a nigga that's not my husband?
Do any of you think that a generation of young men, and having struggled with myself, totally acknowledge it, so...
Have you to me?
Oh my God, Molly.
He's thinking.
I've never heard of you before, so, yeah.
That's the answer, because your wife is watching.
That's true, I've never heard of you before. Molly, I have sympathy for you. I do. You're trying to cope with the suppression of your soul. And filming yourself having sex with other men and filming it is not the highest and best use of the talents that God gave you. It's not. And
that is a talent God gave me.
Well, it's not the highest and best use, and it's not a talent, because, as I said, in my belief, it is should be saved in a sacred domain. I hope you change course. I think you'll be happier and more joyful, and I pray you don't have to suffer too much to realize.
Women like this think they're gonna be young forever, but it's gonna get old. And once it get old, she's gonna regret everything that she did in the past. Some wise man said women don't mature until they have to buy their own drinks at the club. I think there's some truth to that.
Why do you think so many men are traveling overseas to find wives in other countries?
Men are traveling overseas to find wives. Why? I'm right here. I'm single.
No,
Why? I want to be married.
These women will do everything in their power to not take responsibility. Like, literally will do everything in y'all power to not have to look inward and be like, am I the problem? So this is a new thing going around called passport bros. And what it basically is that men of means and who have status and options are no longer looking for women inside of the United States. They're going outside of the country to find girlfriends, wives, whatever. And there are women who are supremely upset about this and go online and bash them. Have you ever wondered why these men are leaving? It's probably because of attitude like that. Instead of asking yourselves, like, why are they choosing to go outside of the country to look for a wife, or choosing to go outside of the country to look for a woman, when I'm like right here, you don't ask yourselves, like, am I agreeable? Am I what a man like that, a man of means, status, wealth, power, am I something that he would want? Do I know what that kind of man even wants? How many podcasts, how many times are men gonna tell women that we don't want women who act like men before y'all just accept it and start acting like women?
Because
we don't want to be berated because we want a feminine woman. We don't want to be told that we're wrong because we want a woman who is agreeable, because we want a woman who's on our program. Instead of y'all just going against the grain, how about you just be like, you know what? Damn, all right, I give up. Y'all are so prideful and so egotistical. You think that being obstinate, the very thing that we say we don't want, is the very thing that's going to break us down and be like, all right, fine. I want that. I want you.
You ain't lying.
The benefits to acting that way and the benefits to being that way far outstrip any of the made up cons that you've made in your head.
Passport bros seem to be a hot commodity nowadays, so let's just go ahead and get straight into it. This is another case of black women not minding their business. Y'all didn't care about mail order brides until black men happened to make it popular, but of course you feel entitled to being the BBC commander when something no longer benefits you, although these are the same men that you said you didn't want, didn't need, and they are broke. I'm gonna be honest, going overseas to travel frequently and live does not equate to broke. But then again, this just simply speaks to the delusion and hypocrisy of women. These men have been very clear in their message. They've said time and time again they wanted wives, someone they could build with, start their family with, someone they could create a legacy with. What y'all heard was they wanted someone that they can control. Y'all minimize being a wife simply down to being a slave, even so much as telling those other women overseas that they're uneducated and practicing tourism. And in turn, a lot of y'all have took your degree and traded it in for an OnlyFans profile.
Damn.
Nobody said anything when women were going to Dubai. We know why you were going. Nobody said anything when women were flying state to state getting flued out. We know what you were doing. Nobody said anything when Nigerian and Jamaican men needed green cards and y'all started falsifying marriage documents so you could drive your Range Rover with your red bottoms. Let's just call a spade a spade. Y'all wanted the option to go back to these men after the man that you really wanted was done dragging you through the mud.
Got him. We fucking got him.